Welcome to Inside Monster Jam, powered by Lucas Oil, the official Monster Jam podcast. I'm Scott Jordan. My guest this week is currently second on Arena Championship Series West and is having the season of a lifetime right now. He is coming back to the show for the first time since last season. Let's fire up the Zenni Optical hotline and welcome in Velociraptor driver Devin Winfield. Devin, welcome back to Inside Monster Jam. Great to see you.
Good to see you guys. How you guys doing?
We're doing great down here, man. Where are you at right now? Because we see a lot of trucks in the background, and of course, a very seems like a freshly clean fire suit hanging up behind you. So where are you at?
Yeah, I'm in Hiram, Georgia. I think that's how you pronounce it. Don't judge me. Hiram, Georgia. We're at John Gordon's shop working on our trucks right now, getting ready to go to Alabama this weekend for some more points chasing.
That's great, man. It's great that John opened up that shop for you guys to come into. I know you got the whole team out there. Now, I was going back to the archives. I did have you on last season pretty late in the year. Usually I don't do that, but I also have to go where the stories are right now for our fans. And you, my friend, if not the biggest story right now in Monster Jam, you have to be one of them. Your rise on this series. You went last place last year on this series, and now you are fighting for your World Finals life, man. It's been incredible. Before we go forward and talk about the 2025 season and a possible World Finals berth for you, I want to catch everybody up on your story because it is absolutely amazing. You and I were on our first tour together. It was the FS1 West Tour back in 2017. You started as a club help volunteer into a USHRA tech official. So let's talk about that rise, man. Let's just revisit that and your first experience in Monster Jam, what that was like for you and what role you were in.
Yeah, so I guess I can rewind that a little more. My first taste of Monster Jam was, I was a baby, man. My mom and dad used to go on dates, and basically the big thing we did every year was go to Monster Jam World Finals in Vegas. I grew up in Las Vegas. That was the one thing we did. We didn't go to Disneyland. We didn't, go to the lake. We did go to the lake sometimes, but Monster Jam World Finals was the big thing we did, and that's what we did every year. That's what I look forward to every year. I saved my money for it. When I turned into, I guess, a teenager, I started volunteering, and the only reason I knew that was because Cody Saucier talked about, when he used to be a kid, he used to volunteer at World Finals with his dad, and so I did whatever I could and researched whatever I could to get my foot in the door. And my buddy Evan Pasoko, actually, me and him kind of started out together, and he was doing photography, and I would just follow him around like a puppy, I guess, and talk to everyone I could. And eventually started volunteering, and I started as the club help, they call it.
Club help, yeah, the orange shirts.
Yeah.
The orange shirt.
Yeah. Good old orange shirts.
Yeah.
So we did that, and that was, I believe, 2016, if I'm remembering right. In 2017, I got hired as a Monster Jam tech official. You were with me.
Yeah.
So that was awesome. It was an amazing experience being on a stadium my first year. Just the atmosphere is so much different than the arenas. It's crazy. And how you can hear the roar and you could feel it in your body. It's so cool. Then after that, I continued to an arena tour as a tech official for about 3.5 years. And I wanted more. And so I messaged, shot an email to Bill Easterly, and, I was like, I don't think this is going to work, and I'm just going to do it anyway. And sent an email saying I wanted to drive, and I told him my story up to that point. And before that, my brother had been diagnosed with cancer and had all kinds of life stuff going on, and I just didn't think it was going to happen. And literally the next day, I got an email back saying, hey, if you want to come drive our race trucks, do me a favor, come drive the brand new ride trucks at, these Cedar Fair parks, and we'll see what we can do. So we did that. And kind of after that, it's kind of history, I guess. I went back to be a tech official for, I guess, January through March. COVID hit. And then, you know what? I started learning how to work on trucks. I was a crew chief for a different team. And then Team Throttle Monster kind of gave me my first shot in the big leagues. So here we are.
It's worked out great. So a couple things on that story. That 2017 year, I think we were, I don't know who was more scared, me or you, because I was scared to death. I knew nothing about nothing. And I think you and I bonded a little bit in the fact that we were both, kind of new to our roles and, trying to basically be thrown to the wolves out there in front of 35,000 people. But it was a great tour. And then I ran back into you, and I told the story last year when I had you on, but at King's Dominion, you were a ride truck driver. I was there with the Andersons. So I got to see you and catch up with a little bit there, and then now I'm talking about you on television every week on Arena in 30 and watching this incredible rise. Is there any irony in the fact that Cody Saucier was the guy that told you how to get involved, and now you're whipping his butt right now? I mean, not whipping. I mean, you're not killing him. You're only up by 4 points, but still, the fact that this is the man that really kind of pushed you in the right direction, and now you are battling for him for that second place. There's got to be some irony there, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's very humbling, I guess, and I hear him say it all the time too. It's very humbling for him to have somebody that looked up to him and that followed in his footsteps, kind of whoop his butt. I don't know if I'm whooping his butt exactly, but to be able to compete against him every weekend and Weston Anderson and to be able to hang up there with them is amazing to me because it's somewhere where I never thought I would be. So I mean, being able
Finishing,
to go out there.
finishing second place to Weston Anderson on his 4 Series championship is nothing to sneeze about, my friend. That's quite a placement. We're going to continue to dive into the incredible season Devin's having. That is next on Inside Monster Jam, powered by Lucas Oil. Welcome back to Inside Monster Jam, powered by Lucas Oil. I am joined this week by Velociraptor's Devin Winfield. If you want to really dive into the Devin Winfield story, you can go back to the archives on YouTube, wherever you get your podcast, and fire up Season 3, Episode 33, where Devin kind of dove in all the way to what his story is. Right now, we're going to talk about your preparation for 2025, because I don't know that I've ever seen as incredible of a jump from somebody's year one into year two. I talked about Jamie Sullivan, who had an incredible sophomore season, but to go from last to second and to be in the conversation for a World Finals bid is absolutely incredible. So what was different for you, if anything, in the offseason, or was it just a matter of seat time and getting your bearings in that truck? What happened with this to evolve into this incredible rise?
I think it was a multitude of things. This right here is a brand new truck. It was a brand new CRD. It was actually the one that went to SEMA as the hydrogen truck. That project got pushed to the side. We're still working on it, but this is the brand new piece, and I love it. I fell in love with it. It handles exactly how I want a truck to handle. It lands really good. I'm happy with it. Another thing is, like, I had a lot going on last year in my head, and I had to kind of clear all that out. And to be able to come into the season with a semi-clear head, it started out rough, but you know what? We picked up on it and we kept running with it, and it worked. And I guess last of all, my teammates, man, my Mason Paul has this truck ready to go when I'm signing autographs after the show at post show, and he's there working on the truck, and my teammates come over to work on the truck. Travis Hall, it's amazing because I come back without any worries at all. Sometimes there's little stuff, like, hey, like this is broke, we got to fix it still, and but I have full confidence in my teammates, and putting my trust in them to make my truck the best it can be. And it's amazing to be able to do that because I don't have to worry about anything. And being able to come into the season to try new stuff. And I've tried a bunch of new stuff this year, and it's worked out pretty well so far. I got the backflip, tried some bicycles, and tried some combo moves, and it's worked out in my favor. So just all that, man, the confidence level I have this year is way different than last year. I feel like I'm on Mount Everest right now. I got, my girlfriend Kylie and everything. She's been working on my truck, and Berto, and, Carson's back. So it's been awesome. And having Corey here was awesome to learn from.
And Kylie drives correct as well, right? She also has some experience behind the wheel, so that's got to help you out.
Yeah, she does. She drives a bunch of different trucks, kind of like how I used to be, where she jumps into one identity and jumps to another. But
right.
She's really good at driving, and it's really cool to see that she was just driving a dinosaur truck too. So
that's
both
awesome.
got the Dino duo going on.
Well, let's talk about Mason Paul, your crew chief, because he's another orange shirt guy that just kind of hung around and waited for an opportunity. He took it, made the best of it, and I chatted with him off air before we started this to talk about this, because having him by your side with the two of you going on almost an equal journey to get here, that's got to be pretty special that you and him started pretty much in the same spot, and now you're here winning championships and trying to get to the event that you would go to as a fan to watch.
I can't say enough good things about Mason, man. He works his butt off, and to be able to say that we both came from pretty much the same place, starting out as club help, and he actually started working on trucks way before I did, and it's cool to see his progression, come up and go to Team Throttle Monster. And he's driven a couple times, and you know what? I'm sure he'll get the opportunity to do it again. And it's awesome, man, to see one of your best friends, grow into what he is today. He's so good at what he does, and he's just an awesome friend. So it's really cool. And to be able to say that he's hopefully, I think we're well on our way. I hope that we can punch our ticket to Salt Lake City.
Well, it would be special, especially considering that Utah is the home for Team Throttle Monster. Let's talk about that team in particular. How has your relationship grown with Mike and Paul now in year two, driving full time with them?
It's been really good. They I guess I kind of look at them like my other two dads, I guess, if that makes sense. But I mean, they come to me, and I got to report back to them. I'm the trailer lead for my two trucks, and Tim's got his whole deal going on. But to be able to go to them, and I still make Mike mad every day. I do something to make him mad, but that's just Mike. He's the happiest guy in monster trucks. But
Yeah, always.
it's cool. It's cool being able to grow with them, and it's people I looked up to, because a couple of years ago, maybe 5 years ago, I didn't even know what Team Throttle Monster was, because I think they were just starting out. So it's cool to have that relationship with them, kind of like dad figures to me.
I could see Mike being somewhat of a father figure. I don't remember my dad cursing as much as Mike does, though. On a daily basis. You say you make him mad. What kind of things make Mike Christensen mad as a team owner? Because he's out there, trying to kill it too with Dalton on his stadium series. He's got enough going on, but the fact that you're actually able to make him mad on a separate tour, that's some special talent, Devin.
Yeah. Rule number one at Team Throttle Monster is don't piss off Mike, but don't make Mike mad. So we end up doing that a lot, but just little things. You got to communicate. That's one thing you got to keep in mind. People are always on their phones, so got to make sure you shoot them the text. Hey, I'm leaving the arena. Hey, I broke this today. So just got to make sure to keep that in mind.
So you do have to sort of do an inventory of what you break on the track that day, and he, I'm sure, has the confidence in you and Mason to just fix everything that you break.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He has full confidence, and as long as we get those texts in early enough, Paul is sending off a pallet of parts to us, so Berto and I can fix it, or Mason and I can fix it. So it works out pretty well.
Well, coming up next, I am going to ask Devin on the spot, on camera, on national television, if he thinks he should go to World Finals. Find out his answer next on Inside Monster Jam, powered by Lucas Oil. We are back with more Inside Monster Jam, powered by Lucas Oil. I'm Scott Jordan. This week I am joined by Team Throttle Monsters' Devin Winfield as we chat about his incredible season. Devin, as I mentioned at the top of the show, you are currently second on Arena Championship Series West. I know the first quarter is winding down. There's still some events left. There's still a lot of points on the board, but is second place now that Weston has clinched the series, is that your ultimate goal, or would you be happy just finishing in the top three? Please say no. Please say yes. I want to beat Cody and finish in second.
No, absolutely. I want to beat Cody, man. I feel like that's a statement for me to be able to, beat my hero at that, and Brianna Mahan. It's a stacked field, man. Like, everyone is hard to beat. It is not easy. So to be able to finish second, especially after the year I had last year, would be a dream come true for me.
Are you a driver that, obviously I know every overall event championship means something to you, but are you a driver that does count the number of overalls you've won through the year? And can you just spout that number off for me right now?
Yeah. Currently we're at 8.
Okay.
And Mason actually, so I don't know if you've seen it on the onboards, but my helmet, he hand painted some teeth on my helmet and stuff. Right on. And on the top of my visor, he's got scratch marks to kind of represent the Velociraptor. So we're at 8 scratch marks right now, but I want to match Dalton at least if I can. I want to get 12 this year. That's my goal. All
right. That's a solid goal. Now, are you and Dalton? I remember last time I had you on, you and Dalton were roommates at the time. Are you still roommates in Utah?
No, so we live in the same complex, but Mason is actually my roommate. Right. So we still live in the same complex.
Okay, very cool. So everybody's just kind of thrown together there, always staying in the family. I love that. Let's chat about Weston Anderson, because he continues to make Monster Jam history. He's the only driver to ever win 4 straight series championships in his debut, and a driver now that you've had to contend with all season long. So how much of a competitor is it really? Is Weston Anderson? Because he seems like an enigma, and I don't ever line up against him because I don't get to drive. But how much of a competitor is he when you line up against him every single night for that overall event championship?
He's always right there. And if it's not him, it's Cody or Bree or anyone, man. Like I said, no one's easy to beat here on this series, but yeah, for sure. Weston is a thorn in my side on this series, and it's cool to look back at some of the footage people post on Instagram, because like there's a couple clips of me like going up and hugging him and congratulating him, or him coming and doing the same thing to me, and then people put it side by side with Dennis and Tom, and I think that's really cool.
Do you ever get sick of him winning all the time? And it's okay to say yes, Devin. It's really okay if you say yes. That's all right.
The only time I get sick of seeing it is when I'm right there and he gets me by a point, man. I'm so close, and he edges me out every time.
Okay, let's talk about your relationship with some of the other drivers on your tour, because you were on basically the Team Throttle Monster Tour, so you have 4 different trucks on that tour, which is a lot. You mentioned Corey Rummel coming in and filling in for Alex Barden, so another great mind to listen to, but you have Cody, you have Brianna, you have a lot of drivers at your resource, and you've talked about your relationship with Cody, but is there anybody else that you go to a lot for advice or just to help you, and if you're trying to figure out strategy to read a track?
Yeah, for sure. Cody, I go to him a lot about reading the dirt. He's really good at that. Brianna, I go to a lot about that too, because Brianna is super consistent in racing. Berto, he's really good at his nose wheelies, getting them down, so I go to him sometimes. He's really good at reading ramps. So I mean, we go to everyone. Tim's really good at, holding his nose wheelies too. So I go to everyone for advice. And it's cool to be able to have, I guess, that open book, because when I was a club guy, that was me studying. Berto and I say it all the time. It was like free school.
Yeah.
You got to sit there and watch trucks and how they acted and when people got on the brakes and got on the throttle. And it was like free education for us. So it's really cool.
How were you able to develop your skills in the two-wheel skills competition? Because I know a lot of drivers will do it on a simulator, and if you don't have access to one of those, you may have to do it the old-fashioned way. So was it just seat time for you to get better? Because you've really improved in that this year.
Yeah, it was a lot of listening to Dalton. Last year, Dalton, he was on the radio a lot trying to guide me, and I just was so in my head last year. It didn't work out. And this year, I just have him and I guess Mike in my head at all times Mike's saying, don't roll this truck right now. And Dalton's saying, be smooth with it and just take your time.
All right, well, here we go. I'm going to put you on the spot. Do you think you have done enough to get an invite to the main field at World Finals 24 in Salt Lake City?
I would love nothing more.
Devin, I didn't ask if you'd love that. I said, have you done, in your opinion, enough to make it to World Finals? Let's start there, and then we'll talk about how much you'd love to go.
Yes.
Yes.
I think I have.
All right. Okay. Now, why would you love to be there?
Man, I've thought about it for years and years and years, and I always wanted to be at Sam Boyd Stadium in Las Vegas, and that's not possible anymore. But you know what? The Salt Lake City Stadium looks pretty similar, and I think in my head it would be awesome to be on the biggest stage of monster trucks at the World Finals, and I want to see my face up on the video board competing for a championship.
I mean, listen, I have no knowledge of any of this. It's a committee that will select it, which will be announced later on. I don't envy the position that they're in to have to pick this field of 23. I think at the very least, you have probably solidified a spot in the LCQ. We saw David Alford go from the last chance qualifier a year ago in the Velociraptor to third place and being on the podium. So that's something that maybe you could aspire to. But I think if you finish second place on this series, you would certainly have opened up a lot of eyes. And my point here is, if you don't, if there's a question, if you finish in second ahead of Cody, do you think you will get that fan support last year, the social media uprising that we saw a driver like John Zimmer Jr. get a couple years ago? Do you think it'll be a Devin Winfield to Salt Lake City campaign from the Monster Jam internet community?
I certainly would love that. I would certainly love to see that I have that support. But only time will tell, I guess. I got to, the ball's kind of in my court. I got to finish second still, so we'll see what happens.
If you do get into the LCQ, do you think that you would be able to battle your way through that bracket to get into the main field? We saw David have that Cinderella story. You've had a Cinderella season. So do you think if you do get in that field, that's just going to be kind of a chip on your shoulder to power your way through?
I feel like Too Tall was in a similar situation. I don't have a chance to watch his whole season last year, but if I did get put in the LCQ, and I'm a racer at heart. I love to race. I love racing the racing competition more than anything, probably. So to be able to go out there, and once I see what the track looks like and I actually get down there in person, if I do make it in, it's game on, man. I want to win that thing no matter what, even if I'm in the main show or the LCQ.
What would it mean to you to join Dalton and Jurassic Attack to represent Team Throttle Monster if both of you somehow wind up in the main field there in Utah, man, like the 45 minutes away from the shop?
Yeah, I mean, to be able to wake up in my own bed and to drive to the stadium and know that I'm in the main field with my best friend would be, it'd be more than a dream come true. I would be speechless. I don't know what I would think. And I think the nerves would be there, but I'd be so excited.
Well, as you said, only time will tell, my friend. Wishing you all the best, but we're not done with you yet. Your fan questions are next on Inside Monster Jam, powered by Lucas Oil. Welcome back to Inside Monster Jam, powered by Lucas Oil, the official Monster Jam podcast. My guest this week is Velociraptor driver Devin Winfield. We've been chatting all show long about his incredible season on Arena Championship Series West, and now it is my turn to hand the show off to you. You can stay involved in the conversation on Instagram at Scott Jordan MJSX. Devin, are you ready to answer questions from your fans?
There we go. I'm ready.
Let's do this. T_Sablin55 is asking, what's one of your favorite experiences being a part of Team Throttle Monster?
I think it's just because that, we're with each other so much that it really does feel like a family. Like we say that on the mic all the time, but it really does, man. Like we spend 95% of my life right now with these people I'm with right now, with Mason and Berto and Travis and and Tim. So And sometimes Dalton when we're together. But it's cool to say that when I'm away from my actual family, that I have them behind me.
And I imagine that you guys just get along all the time, that there's never any bickering between grown men when it comes to racing.
No. I mean, we fight like little brothers,
Yeah.
but you know what? It's all in good fun. We all get over it, and we all like to have fun and race at the end of the day.
All right, Colin Blackwell _12 is asking, what is your favorite stop on Arena Championship Series West?
Man, so far this year, I think Sacramento was really cool. I won 2 overalls there. That one was one of my favorites. I've always loved that building. Tacoma is always really fun. I can't really pick one, though. I think Albuquerque this year was really fun for me just because my girlfriend came out to that one, and it was special to me because I didn't win any overalls there, but I won racing, and it was just a good weekend overall.
Did you ever find anything fun to do in Sacramento?
There's a lot of stuff around it. If we're not working on trucks, though, we're usually eating or something, but that's all the fun we've been able to have.
All right, so Sacktown, folks. There you go. A lot of good food in Sacktown. Brennan.Jop is asking, who do you want to ideally be on your tour with next year following your standout performance? So if you could pick a couple drivers that you haven't competed against, who would you like to line up with?
I would love to line up with Adam Anderson and Ryan Anderson. I don't know if I could beat them, but just to be able to say I've done it in my lifetime would be awesome. I would love to be on a tour with Mike and Dalton as well. Hopefully that means I'm on a stadium. You never know. But just something. I want to race everybody. I want to say that I've raced everyone that's competing right now.
Is there somebody besides the Andersons that you would especially love to beat just for bragging rights to say, you know what? Yep, I got it once, and that's all I need.
Oh, man. There's a lot of people, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a hard one, though.
Yeah.
Tom Mentz, if he was still racing, I would love to beat Tom.
All right. Let's see. We got another question. Maxer.RT is asking, in your entire career, which driver has helped, supported you the most? Would that be Cody, or is there somebody else up?
I think, honestly, Dalton has been the one that supported me the most. But for Weston and Cody, man, this year have been such a big piece of what I've turned into today and how they've supported me and been friends to me. So they're special to me, and they've supported me a lot.
Mike Trapper 04 has the question of the day. Did anyone ever tell you that you and Dalton look the same?
All the time, yeah. We have the same first, middle, and last initial. We're basically the same build and same height and everything. He just has a little bit better of a beard than I do. My beard sucks, but yeah, we get that all the time.
All right, Devin, well, I appreciate you being here, man. Best of luck. I hope I do run into you as a competitor in Salt Lake City, man. Best of luck.
Thank you, guys. I hope to see you there.
That's all the time we have. I'll see you right here next time on another brand new edition of Inside Monster Jam, powered by Lucas Oil.